Hi, we're here at the IFCBAA Conference on the second day, and we're so privileged to have panelists on rail. I'm here with Vic. Thank you so much for coming to the conference. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, Vic Regina is my name. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for Rail First. We're a rail manufacturing and asset leasing company, actually Australia's leading rail manufacturing and leasing company.
So for many of our members, we book rail sometimes, not all the time. So what opportunities are you seeing moving into the future for rail?
Yeah, no, thanks you. That's a really good question. As a previous freight forwarder and customs broker, rail had a persona of being quite clumsy and clunky, and usually a last resort to consider as a mode for moving containers. But technology has really brought the rail industry into the right time. I think rail is a real viable option for freight forwarders to consider to vacate containers from the port to intermodal terminals, as well as to consider for longer haul repositioning of containers between cities. So not only is it a viable option from a costing perspective, but also a viable option from an ESG and reducing carbon footprint perspective.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and it is for also probably a reallocation for exports, and the environmental perspective is really great. I know there's the new terminal at Moorebank. Do you have any views on that? Is that going to be a game changer? Or? Yeah,
look, I think intermodals across the country, including Moorebank, are quite vital to the success of rail. As I mentioned in the panel session, a market where containers are vacated by rail at night to an intermodal terminal, allowing freight forwarders to pick those up with less congestion and less time constraints from those terminals, and then return the empties back for repositioning back to the stevedores, I think have a tremendous future for this industry. And there's investment not only from private industry in intermodal terminals, but also from government through National Intermodal Corp.
Yeah, I heard that we're slow on rail and to pick it up, but as we move into the future and we're trying to free up road congestion and think smarter as freight forwarders, and we have the capabilities, it's such a great tool to use. So thank you so much for being on the panel and coming today.
No, thank you. Thank you. It was a great session, and a credit to the IFCBAA team.
Thank you very much.